JT, what's the overriding emotion coming off a performance like that?
It's very high for the most part because we played well. We started off well. It was some things that we just want to be fixing all year, and we came and gave 4 quarters of great effort and, being consistent and playing unselfish. So that's my main high off that because I was so excited how the guys played unselfish and how hard they played.
26 assists on 31 made field goals. It speaks to that, doesn't it?
It's major. It's major. Our guys have really been patient, seeing where the extra pass was going to come from. We knew Sydney was going to throw a couple of junk defenses for us. We didn't want to settle for a tough shot or a shot that guys feel that they can make, if they was in the gym by themselves. We want to see what was the best shot. And so having 26 assists is unbelievable.
You got out by 20 in the second quarter. They made their run. Valentine starts getting hot, and yet the guys can't settle down. How are you able to do that in that period of time?
I think it was just remind them that we knew they were going to go on a run. So you just can't stop a professional team like this to not, for us to keep increasing the lead unwillingly. So we felt that we knew they was going to go on a run, so we reminded the guys of that, and we just wanted to sustain it and to our best ability. If it was me calling timeouts or us finding an easy shot.
Last time you came in here, Christmas Day, that was a big victory, and you talked about Lachlan Aldridge. Today, William Hickey was just out. Can you just talk to him and the performance he put on today, the energy he gave you guys?
Yeah, relentless competitor and always ready. And so, we've been building confidence in him for the last 3 to 4 games. As you see, he's been coming in for major spurt minutes. And so today was major for him. We felt that, he was in the right spots when he was trying to double G and Sam, and he got into the open areas, made his free throws. And, you can't take a guy out when he's giving you that much energy and nothing has dropped. So he's worked for the last couple games to gain that trust in me.
Gary, the confidence in this team, you came out super hot, obviously, in that first period, then got out by 20. They obviously come back, make a run, but you guys never flinched. It just seemed like, you made a play every time you had to.
I think it's just our resilience, just knowing every game down the stretch right now is just so important for us. We're playing for the long haul, so this, Davo stepping up. We've had games where Lee, Lucky, it just shows our attentiveness and our details off the court when we get in the game and everyone is just on point throughout the game, and it's just it's a basketball game. There's going to be ups and downs, and just being able to handle each one of those waves, how we handled it tonight.
You've been on an amazing journey from where you were. How has the group sort of come together as one? Obviously, I know JT's got a lot to do with it, but just from a playing group perspective, from where you were the first few weeks of the season to where you are now?
I think it was just, we all realized that we had an opportunity to, really change a lot of our careers. A lot of guys have never been in a situation like what we're going through right now. And it was just kind of, eye-opener for many people individually just to be like, we could do something special here. And everyone can be a part of it. But Wally Bills, he didn't play a lot tonight, but he's been a part of this journey so far. And I think everyone's excitement and trust in that has, kept guys locked in and just playing with a fire, because any night it could be any guy to step up to the plate.
JT, the guy next to you, obviously really important tonight on the court. Could you just talk to what Gary's been able to do in terms of a leadership point of view for this group, turning things around?
It's mainly his experience. He's vocal when he needs to. I mean, that's mainly off the court with us in the practice and preparing for the games. But his experience. And he sees the game is slowed down to him. So now, it took him some time in the beginning, to adjust to the FIBA rules over here and the way to play of the NBL. But now he's in pure form. And so now we ride off that experience, and that's the main thing for us. And he's capable of making any type of shots and closing the game. We made free throws, and he's our 1A, and Tyler's like our 1B with, out there who's going to take, when we need a shot, who do we go to? So it's just mainly his experience. And, he's grown into that leadership with knowing these guys, and these guys are starting to trust him. So it's a lot of pluses with this guy next to me.
There are a lot of blokes on this team that have improved a lot from where they were at the start of the year. Tyler Harvey, gone great, obviously. But what sort of an environment do you sort of look to create, and how do you sort of go about managing things down there and they're going to get the best out of these blokes, given how hard things have been the last couple of years?
As I learned my position being an interim head coach here and learning how to be a head coach in the NBL, I have to learn how to trust these, and these guys have to learn I have to trust the game and understand that. And so when I take J-Rob out of the starting position and bring him off the bench, I have to talk to him, and he has to trust me that this is the best for the team. If we talk to Tyler about shot selections, we have those type difficult conversations that we need to have games like this to win. So it's just those guys trusted my experience and me putting them in the right situation for our team to win. And that's all I talk about is our group. Them individual, what they can do individually is going to help our group no matter what. The shots that they make, the defense that they do, the rebounds, but we got to find a way to put it together. So those guys have trusted me to, explain what their role is and allow them to flourish in it.
How do you approach this next week? Obviously, the postseason is looking like it could happen now. Do you use that as extra motivation, or is it a case of we don't want to look too much ahead and we don't want to get distracted from what we're doing?
Oh, man, everybody in the NBL has doubted us from the jump. You know what I mean? Understand if we started from 2-7 this earlier season or if we were 3-25 last year, we sit at home, we watch other games, and we hear that, the top 6 is going to be everybody but us. And we were 4 at that time, right? So our motivation is major, because the only people that believe in us is Illawarra and us in that locker room. So that's all the motivation that we need, and that thrives us every day.
Have you never used that for good in terms of us against the world, that mentality? Can it kind of boost the boys?
For sure, it has been. And then, with the guys who has been around here for the last 3-4 years and has had unsuccessful seasons. And so seeing us flourish now and being in a good spot to do God knows whatever, it's a good feeling. So I think that's a motivation in itself.
You got an important win today after a loss on Friday. How do you regroup for Thursday, knowing Perth will come hard after them? You've beat them twice, so they're not going to give them to you easy this time.
Yeah, we're sure nobody's going to lay down at this time, and we don't look at as we have that we beat Perth the last 2 times. At the end of the day, it's tough to beat a team 3 times, and so right now, if we play this well, this unselfish, and this is what we're going to build off of. We knew we took one in New Zealand. We had it either way, but New Zealand was resilient, and they found a way to pull it out. But going into Thursday today is our motivation. Build off this win and how we play to get this win in this environment.
Anyone on the Zoom? Jeno, you're up.
G'day, JT. G'day, Gary. Gary, I wanted to just ask you about, way back when you were in the middle of those struggles and it was really hard to sort of come out the other side of. You always had so much faith and sort of said, we're right there. We're a hair off, really dominating this league and beating everybody and all that type of stuff. What did you see? Did you see then that gave you the faith that you could be producing what you are producing now?
Just a lot of the guys in the locker room, just their ability to, Sam to pass the ball the way he does. At any given night he can take over inside, and just each guy's selflessness. That's one thing Illawarra, we pride ourselves on, is like the way the club recruited each guy and being, so selfless and good guys that anybody can have a good night. And I think just the pieces, you could see the spots and pieces of it throughout those struggle days, and it was just like, I could see like, okay, we put this together and we, get this figured out, we'll be in a really good spot. And sure enough, as time came along, you all are seeing the product of that patience and that, how good we can be with everyone stepping up to the plate and doing their job.
It's been such a slog too, and like we all watched the live ladder, and even in tonight's game, you were 4th, then 7th, and it changes so rapidly. Is there some sort of relief or an extra bit of a jolt you get as a playing group now that you kind of are right at the end now? I mean, it's one game, you got 2 to come, but 1 win will probably put you in the playoffs. Like it's getting down the other side of what was at one point looked like such a hard, long grind.
Honestly, for me personally, I don't really keep up with a lot of things when it comes to what's posted and how the standings are and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, I think our group is just a hungry group, and like I said, every time we do watch it, we're not mentioned. So, all it does is just give us more fire, and there's no relief to be in. We still trying to win games, make statement wins. Like we're not just to get in is what? Just to say we made it in is. We still trying to win this thing out, get the momentum we need to go into the postseason and really make a lot of noise. So I just being in is just it's kind of irrelevant. It's about building these wins and just trying to get going postseason.
Just one more from me, JT. You spoke about obviously runs, and basketball is a game of runs, but the ability tonight to get in that position, and obviously they came back to you so many times like you anticipated they sort of would, but they never actually even got it back to probably even a 2-score game. You seem to handle those ebbs and flows really well. Is that the biggest area of growth you think you've seen in the group in your time in charge? Because it seemed runs used to really get away from this group earlier on, but now it seems to ride it out a bit. There's a bit more confidence there, whatever it is. But is that the growth that you've seen?
That's part of it. That's part of it. I mean, that's part of basketball, the growth of seeing how we evolved after doing so many things the wrong way in the beginning of the season and seeing how we can handle things now. But I think main thing, my growth is how we finish games and how we can play for 40 minutes. Normally, even when up under my tenure, we were only playing like 27 minutes, 30 minutes, of good basketball, and then, it goes up and down from there. I think tonight for sure we played really about 40 minutes of good basketball. I see that nobody really got over 27 to 28 minutes of playing, so that was a good balance of my starting five, and it's a testament how fresh they were. So yeah, I'm sure that I'm happy about the growth of being able to sustain and hold the lead, but I like how we played for 40 minutes, and that's big to me.
Anyone else? Hey, you guys are good to go.
All right, thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.